Morning everyone, I'm back with a video just to show you some little Christmas cards I've been making. I treated myself to some of the Tim Holtz Christmas lines. Some of them are from this year's release and one of them is from last year's. So what I've got is, to start with, is you'll probably all have seen these, but I'll just show you quickly. This one is the backdrops, Christmas backdrops. There's some lovely different designs on this if you like vintage. Just to show you some of them, there's some great stripes, patterns, candy stripes, poinsettias, snowflakes, holly. Then there's some vintage text, tartan, worn tartan, brickwork, some old receipts, and they're all double-sided but with a different image on the backs. So worn wood, some more stripes, different tartans, different receipts, lovely black and white monochrome, dotty, some check. So there's plenty of backgrounds to have a go at. These are a different size if you're used to either buying 12 by 12s or 8 by 8s or even 6 by 6s. These ones are 6 by 10. They're quite good for making cards, definitely, and smaller projects. I like this size. So I bought those. I also bought these little collage strips, which are different pieces of the papers collaged together in strips that you can use instead of collaging yourself. Everyone's different. So they've got a photograph on them, often a sentiment, some advertising, and some pattern papers. They're all different, like I say, and they've all got elements from the paper pads and other images too. But these are great. You can cut them up and use them in all sorts of ways, especially in your card making and scrapbooking, well, in anything really. So these I thought were a good buy. So I bought those, just pop those back in. Then I bought the sticker book. This one's got loads of stickers, for loads of Christmases as well. There's, I think, 5 pages. Yeah, 5 pages of tiny little text. These are all stickers. Things: deck the halls with boughs of holly, Christmas greeting, Christmas story, the eve before Christmas. They're all in a vintage tones, all neutral tones. 8 tiny reindeer around the Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas night. So 5 pages of these, as well as just Merry Christmas, joyful, Santa Claus, those kind of sentiments and little statements. It's like Santa's village. We can start the Christmas party, so you could use these on all sorts of things. Then there's a page of border strips, stickers, and 2 pages of larger, like type in text, sentiments in red and in green. And then the final thing I bought was the layers and paper dolls. This is the 2023 collection. And there's all sorts in here. I'm not going to take them all out because you've probably seen them. But there's backgrounds and larger layers, photographs, copies of receipts and sentiments, frames as well. Then there's smaller images. And holly, pine cones, bells, lots of little die cuts, and then there's loads of paper dolls. So you can use these either a vintage photo, you can dress up and make a masculine card with this gentleman here, ladies to sit on parts of your images, girls all wrapped up, all sorts. And you can tint these, colour them, leave them black and white. There's something different. So that was those that I bought. So that was my little treat session. Just get rid of all that on there. And these are the cards that I made. Get rid of all these paper bits. So I really enjoyed making these vintage style cards. So the way I did them was I made the background first. And I didn't at this point use the paper pads, the backdrop papers. What I did, I made a collage background. If you make a large one, they call it a masterboard, which I'm sure you all know. But if you don't know, this is one that I made. I got out all my neutral colours from, well, you only need about 4 or 5 sheets anyway, of my paper pads that you've got in your stash, and I literally tore them up using a ruler so that I'd get a tear line, but it'd be a straight line. And I collaged them, popping them all side by side, sticking them on just with an ordinary glue stick. I used a Pritt stick, and I added these to a sheet of 12 by 12 paper, stuck them all on the back side. Now, people do all sorts with this. They coat it with gesso. I've just put mine, stuck it on, and that's it, ready to go. It's got a texture to it. I've just used the 4 papers that I've got, and I've just cut the pieces, tore the pieces out and stuck them on. And then you can use this and cut this into pieces for a background. So that's a large one, which is what, like I say, what they call a masterboard. But I just cut mine to size and patch the paper on them. So that's what, you can't see it very well now because you can't see where I've patched, because then what I did was I embossed on the top. So I used this is an older one from Crafter's Companion. It's a Texture Hessian embossing folder, 2D, and I used that to create this Hessian look on the papers. It also gives it a lovely texture. And then I just added a little bit of Pebeo gilding wax. So that was my Pebeo gilding wax that I added over the top, just in patches, nothing major. So put a little splodge here, there and everywhere. So that's what I did to make the backgrounds, and I'll just insert a little picture here just to show you that. Now, in Tim Holtz's range, he also does frames, which are collage pieces of paper with a frame area aperture cut out of them. I didn't buy those because I thought I'd make them myself. So I did make these little frames myself by the backdrop papers that I've just shown you, tearing a few bits of those up, strips, and adding them to one piece of card. So I'd cut a little, the size I wanted my frame, a little just white piece of card, added these little pieces all over the top, and then I just cut an aperture from the middle. Oh, and mounted them on red card as well. Cut an aperture from the middle, and then I popped those through on another embossing folder. This one was another, this is a really old one, Embossalicious one, Christmas Elegance. These are really old, but whatever, I just grabbed whatever folder I'd got, and I used this snowflakey side. So, I don't know if you can see those there. Can you see on that one there? There's the snowflake. So, it was a easy way of me making the frames. So if I pop another picture in here, you should be able to see that. And then, because I'd got an aperture in these frames, I laid them up on my favourite little doilies because it just breaks up the background again. And I popped some little liquid pearls in the background, as in snowflakes, only very faint because you can hardly see them, can you? There you can see. And then I literally layered everything up. I had a little tab die here, so I popped those coming out the side with one of the little sentiments out of the sticker pad. This one says little red stockings, and I'm going to colour her little stockings in, I think. This one, Christmas finery and Christmas child on this one. And I added I'll pop these up on a little piece of, you can use foam pads, or I just used some little cardboard to just give that a little bit of height. Not much because I want to post them. And then these little pieces here are literally 1 or 2 pieces from those paper strips that I showed you. They're very subtle, but they just break up the background and add a little bit of interest. I made some little fishtails at the corners there. You can just see there, can you? Yep. And added those in for a bit more interest. And then finally I finished off with the little sticker sentiments, winter wishes, making spirits bright and believe in the magic, and popped on my little paper dolls. So those are my version of vintage cards. I really enjoyed making them. I'm going to send those to my crafty friends, and I'm sure I'll be making some more because I've got loads of stash and I've hardly touched it. So it goes a really long way, and you can get some really nice vintage cards. So if you're after making something different this Christmas and you want that vintage look, then give these a go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and a subscribe. It'd be great. And I'll pop some more pictures at the end of this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.